Bhakti Shastri verses Bhagavad Gita 1.1 Dhritarashtra Uvacha Dharmakshetre Kurukshetre Samaveta Yuyutsavaha Mamaka Pandavasya Kima Kurvata Sanjaya. Dhritarashtra said, O Sanjaya, after my sons and the sons of Pandu assembled in the place of pilgrimage of Kurukshetra, desiring to fight, what did they do? Now 2.7 Karpanya dosopahata sabhava prichamitam dharma samudacetaha yatshriya syanisitam pruhitan me sisyasteham sadimantam prapanam. Now I am confused about my duty and have lost all composure because of miserly weakness. In this condition I am asking you to tell me for certain what is best for me. Now I am your disciple and a soul surrender unto you. Please instruct me. Now 2.13 Dehinosmin yata dehe kaumarang yavanam jara tata dehantara praptir dirastatra namuhyati. As the embodied soul continuously passes in this body from boyhood to youth to old age, the soul similarly passes into another body at death. A sober person is not bewildered by such a change. Now 2.14 Matras parsastu kantaya sitosna duka sukada agama payino nityastam tidikshasva bharata. A son of Kunti, the non-permanent appearance of happiness and distress, and their disappearance in due course, are like the appearance of and disappearance of winter and summer season. They arise from sense perception or signs of Bharata, and one must learn to tolerate them without being disturbed. Now 2.20 Na jayate mriyate va kadachin nayam bhutva bhavita va na bhuyaha ajo nitya sasvatayam purano nahanyate hanyamane sarire. For the soul there is neither birth nor death at any time. He has not come into being, does not come into being, and will not come into being. He is unborn, eternal, ever-existing and primeval. He is not slain when the body is slain. Now 3.13 Yajna sistasina santo muchante sarvakil bisai bunjate tetvagam papa yepachantyatma karanat. The devotees of the Lord are released from all kinds of sins because they eat food which is offered first for sacrifice. Others will prepare food for personal sense enjoyment and verily eat only sins. Now 3.27 Prakriteh kriyamanani guna karmani sarvasaha ahankara vimudha atma kartaham iti manyate. The spirit soul bewildered by the influence of false ego finds himself the doer of activities that are in actuality carried out by the three modes of material nature. Now 3.43 Evam buddheh param buddhva samstabhyatma namatmana jahi sastrum mahabaho kamarupam durasadam. Thus knowing oneself to be transcendental to the material senses, mind and intelligence, O mighty arm Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, Krishna consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Now 4.2 Evam parampara praptam imam rajarsa yogido sakaliniha mahata yogunastha parantapa. The supreme science was thus received through the sense of disciplic succession, and the saintly king understood it in that way. But in course of time the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appeared to be lost. Now 4.6 Ajo pishan avyayatma bhutanam iswaru pishan prakritim swam avastabhya from adistaya sambhavamyat mamayaya. Although I am unborn and my transcendental body never deteriorates, and although I am the Lord of all living entities, I still appear in every millennium in my original transcendental form. Now 4.9 Janma karma cha me divyam yevam yoveti tatvatah tyaktva deham punarjanmana iti mameti surjuna. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, takes his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. Now 4.34 Tat vidi pranipatina pariprasnena sivaya upadiksanti te jnanam janina statva darshinaha Just try to learn the truth by approaching a spiritual master. Inquire from him submissively and render service unto him. The self-realized soul can impart knowledge unto you because they have seen the truth. Now 5.29. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvalokamayeswaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatmamam santim richati. A person in full consciousness of me, knowing me to be the ultimate beneficiary of all sacrifices and austerities, the supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and the benefactor and well-wisher of all living entities, attain peace from the pangs of material desires, material miseries. Now 647. Yoginam api sarvasam gatena dharatmana sraddhavan bhajatu yumam samyukta tamamataha. And of all yogis, the one with great faith, who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and render transcendental loving service unto me. He is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is the highest of all. That is my opinion. Now 7.3. Manushyanam sahasresu kaschit yatati siddhaya yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam vetitadvataha. Out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfections, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. Now 7.14. Devi hiyasha gunamayi mama maya durateya mam eva ye prapadyante mayametam tarantite. This divine energy of mine, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it. Now 8.5. Anta kale chamameva smaran muktva kalevaram yah prayati samadbhavam yati nastyat rasang shayha. Yati nastyat rasang shayha. And whoever at the end of his life quit his body, remembering me alone, at once attain my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Now 9.2. Raja Vidya Raja Guhyam Pavitram Idam Uttamam Pratyakshava Gamam Dharmyam Susukam Kartum Avyayam. This knowledge is the king of education, the most secret of all secrets. It is the purest knowledge, and because it gives direct perfections of the self by realization, it is the perfections of religion. It is everlasting and it is joyfully performed. Now 9.14. Satatam kirtayantomam yatantascha dridha vrataha namasyantascha mam bhaktya nitya yukta upasate. Always chanting my glories, endeavoring with great determination, bowing down before me, these great souls perpetually worship me with devotion. Now 9.26. Patram puspam palantoyam yome bhaktya prayachati tataham bhakti upahritam asnami prayatatmanaha. If one offers me with love and devotion a leaf, a flower, a fruit, or water, I will accept it. Now 9.27. Yat karoshi yat asnasi yat juhosi dadasi yat tapasyashi konta yat kuruswa mat arpanam. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. Now 10.8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Now 10.9. Machitamat gata prana bodhayantah parasparam katayantas chamamityam tushanti charamanticha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. 10. Tasam satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhiyukam tam yedamam upayantite. To those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Now 10:11. Tasam evanukam partam aham agyanajam tamaha nasayamyatma bhavasto yana dipena basvata. To show them special mercy, I, dwelling in their heart, destroy with the shining lamp of knowledge the darkness born of ignorance. 10:41. Yajat vibhutimat sattvam srimad urjitam evava tatat eva vagachatvam mama tejong shasham bhavam. Know that all opulent, beautiful and glorious creations spring from but a spark of my splendor. Now 13:22. Purusah prakritisto hi bhungte prakriti jan gunan karanam guna shangosha sat ashad yoni janmasu. The living entity in material nature thus follow the ways of life, enjoying the three modes of nature. This is due to his association with that material nature. Thus he meets with good and evil among various species. Now 14:4. Sarvayonisu kantaya murtaya sambhavantiyaha tasam brahma mahat yonir aham bija pradapita. It should be understood that all species of life, as son of Kunti, are made possible by birth in this material nature, and that I am the seed-giving Father. 14:26. Mam sayogya vicharena bhakti yogena shevate sagunan samatitaitan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. One who engages in full devotional service and failing in all circumstances at once transcends the modes of material nature and thus comes to the level of Brahman. Now 15:1. Sri Bhagavan Uca Vacha Urdhva mulam adasakam asvatam prahur avyayam chandang shriya shyaparnani yastam veda savedavit. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, it is said that there is an imperishable banyan tree that has its roots upward and its branches down, and whose leaves are the Vedic hymns. One who knows this tree is knower of the Vedas. Now 15:15. Sarvasya chaham hridishana vishnu mata smetir jnanamapohanam cha vedascha sarvair aham eva vedyo vedantagrit vedavit eva chaham. I am seated in everyone's heart, and from me come remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. By all the Vedas I am to be known. Indeed, I am the compiler of Vedanta, and I am the knower of the Vedas. Now 16:23. Yah sastra vidim utsrija vartate karmakarataha na siddhin avapnoti na sukam na paramgatim. He who discards scriptural injunction and acts according to his own whims attains neither perfection nor happiness nor the supreme destination. Now 1854. Brahma bhuta prasanatma na shochati na kangshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu madbhaktim labate param. One who is thus transcendentally situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. Now 1855. Bhaktiyamam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvataha tato mam tatvato gyatva visvate tat anantaram. One can understand me as I am, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. And when one is in full consciousness of mind by such devotion, he can enter into the kingdom of God. Now 1857. Cetasa sarva karmani mayi sanyasi matparaha. Buddhi yogam upasritya machitta satatam bhava. In all activities, just depend upon me and work always under my protection. By such devotional service, be fully conscious of me. Now, 1861. Isvara sarva bhutanam hridya arjuna tistati brahmayan sarva bhutani yantra rudhani mayaya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wanderings of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. Now 1865. Manmana bhava mat bhakto mat yajimam namaskuru mam evaisya satyam de pratijani priyasini. Always things of me become my devotees, worship me and offer young homage unto me. Thus you will come to me without fail. I promise you this because you are my very dear friend. Now 1866. Sarva dharman parityaja mam ekam saranam rajat aham tam sarva papibhyo mukshayisami masuchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and thus surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear. Now Sri Isopanishad invocation. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Purnachyate Purnasya Purnamadahya Purnameva Vasishyate. The personality of Godhead is perfect and complete, and because He is completely perfect, all emanation from Him, such as this phenomenal world, are perfectly equipped as complete wholes. Whatever is produced of the complete whole is also complete in itself. Because He is the complete whole, even though so many complete units emanate from Him, He remains the complete balance. Now, Isopanishad Mantra 1. Isawasam idam saram yatkincha jagat yam jagat tena tyaktena bunjidam agridak rasya svidanam. Everything animate or inanimate that is within the universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself, which are set aside as his quota, and one should not accept other things, knowing well to whom they belong. Now, Isopanishad Mantra 3. Asuryana Matyaloka Andena Tamashavritaha Tangste Pretyabhikachanti Yeke Chatma Hano Janaha. The killer of the soul, whoever he may be, must enter into the planets known as the worlds of faithless, full of darkness and ignorance. Isopanishad Mantra 11. Vidyam chavidyam chayas tadvedo bhayam saha avidyam rityam tirtva vidyayamritam asnute. Only one who can learn the process of nescience and that of transcendental knowledge side by side can transcend the influence of repeated birth and death and enjoy the full blessings of immortality. Now, nectar of instruction, text 1. Baca vegam, manasakroda vegam, jihva vegam, udarupasta vegam, etan vegan yo visaheta dira, sarva mapimam prithvim sasishyad. A sober person who can tolerate the urge to speak, the mind's demands, the actions of anger, and the urges of the tongue, belly, and genital is qualified to make disciples all over the world. Nectar of instruction, text 2. Atihara prayasascha prajalpo niyama grahaha jana sangas chalaulam cha sadbir bhaktir vinashyati. One's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes to entangle in the following 6 activities. 1. Eating more than necessary or collecting more fun than required. 2. Over-endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to attain. 3. Talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters. 4. Practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them and not for the sake of spiritual advancement. Or rejecting the rules and regulations of the scriptures and working independently or whimsically. 5. Associating with worldly-minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness. 6. Being greedy for mundane achievements. Nectar of instruction. Now, nectar of instruction text 3. Utsahan nisayan daryat, utsahan nischayat daryat, tatat karva pravartanat, sangat yagat satvavrite, sadbir bhakti prasidyate. There are 6 principles favorable to the executions of pure devotional service. 1. Being enthusiastic. 2. Endeavoring with confidence. 3. Being patient. 4. Acting according to regulated principles such as Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna. 5. Abandoning the associations of non-devotees. 6. Following to the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assure the complete success of pure devotional service. Nectar of instruction text 4. Dadati prati grinati, guhyam akyati prichati, bhungte bhujayate chaiva, sadvidam priti lakshanam. Offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, refilling one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasad and offering prasads are the 6 symptoms of love shared by one devotee and another. Now, nectar of devotion. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.11. Hanya bila sita sunyam, jnana karma dhyana vritam, anukulyena krishnanu silanam bhakti rudama. When first class devotee, your devotional service develop, one must be devoid of all material desires, knowledge obtained by monastic philosophy, and fruitive action. The devotee must constantly serve Krishna favorably as Krishna desires. Now Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.101. Shruti Smriti Puranadi Pancharatra Vidhim Vina Aikantiki Harer Bhaktir Utpatayaiva Kalpate. Devotional service to the Lord that ignores the authorized Vedic literatures like the Upanishad, Puranas, Narada Pancharatra, etc. is simply an unnecessary disturbance in society. Now Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.187. Ihayasya harer dashe karmanamana shakira nikila shuapya vastasu jivan mukta sauchate. One who engages in the transcendental service of the Lord in body, mind, and word is to be considered liberated in all conditions of material existence. Now Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.255 to 6. Anasaktasya visayan yatarham upayunjataha nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyamujate. Prapanchikataya buddhya harisambandhi vastunaha mumukshubhih parityago vairagyam palgukatyate. When one is not attached to anything but at the same time accept anything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. On the other hand, one who rejects everything without knowledge of its relationship to Krishna is not as complete in his renunciation. Now, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.234. Atah Sri Krishna Namadi Nabhavat Grahyam Indriyaihi Sivan Mukhi Jihvadau Soyameva Spurati Adaha. Because Krishna's form, qualities, pastime, etc. are all on the absolute platform, material senses cannot therefore appreciate them. When a conditioned soul is awakened to Krishna consciousness and renders service, by using his tongue to chant the Lord's holy names and taste the remnants of the Lord's food. The tongue is purified and one gradually comes to understand who Krishna really is. Now Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.1.12 Sarvopadi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam hrishikena hrishikesa sivanam bhakti rujate. Bhakti or devotional service means engaging all our senses in the service of the Lord, the Supreme Sranti of Godhead, the Master of all the senses. When the spirit soul renders service unto the Supreme, there are two such effects. One is free from all material designations, and simply by being employed in the service of the Lord, one's senses are purified. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.